computer at the moment. Just going to give the invocation. Thanks, y'all. I can feel the enthusiasm in the room. I know you guys love it when I have the mic, so here we go. Y'all make sure you get out if you live here in Irving and vote. Yes, our city needs it. So please prayerfully find the time to get out and support our city and those who are running for city council. We appreciate it. I did have the privilege this Tuesday to represent us at the Breakfast with the Stars. I tried not to embarrass y'all too much. I did wear my skirts, but it was a wonderful event. So I'm thankful that we got to participate and hand out so many scholarships to these wonderful students who have worked so hard in our schools. I'm going to get to the what I'm supposed to be doing, which is pray. So I invite you to pray with me. Let's pray. Loving God, we thank you for the rain that you've showered upon us. We ask that it might dry up for a bit so that we can enjoy the outdoors. Lord, we ask your blessing upon the city of Irving, this community that we love and serve. We are so thankful for our colleague and brother, David Harris, and all that he's put into this club and the ways that he has served us for so many years. We are thankful for him. And God, we ask your blessing upon the food, our conversations, and all that takes place during the meeting today. May it bring you glory. And we ask this in your holy name. Amen. Amen. You may be seated. And Jeff Colbert, will you, well, no, you guys stand up still. Do the pledge of allegiance.
Yes, good afternoon, in Rotary. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now you may be seated. And Donna, would you come up and introduce all our guests except the ones with David, which Robert also is going to do in a minute.
You like people are.
Good afternoon. Our guests today are Jeff Cover from the Sunrise Club. Cindy Sawyer is a guest of Jeff Cover. Aaron Bennigan is from the Waxahachie Club. And Aaron also was a guest of Robert.
Okay. Let's give them all a nice rousing. And I just want to say one more thing about the Breakfast with the Stars. I was there, Randy was there, Ivan was there, Rick was there, Bob was there. It was an amazing morning where they gave over $500 million worth of scholarships to 183 students. They did it all in the West. Not only did we have Rotary scholars, we had students who went to Riot Up last year. It's from our club. And if you look at my Facebook page, you'll see 2 of those, and they're just outstanding. It's good. It's good program to be part of. All right. Today we have Jacob McMillen and Krystin King from the Roughriders baseball club. Would you come and talk to us about things in baseball?
Me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. I must be and right. I don't care if I get back for the street. Root for the guys. It's a shame for it's fun to reach your out at the old ball game. Right.
Thank you guys for having us here today. I'm Krystin. I am the Senior Director of Marketing for the Frisco Roughriders. This is McMillen. He is one of our fantastic sales reps. So we wanted to come here and just kind of chat with you guys about what we do at the Roughriders, maybe some things you guys might not know about us. We are the AA affiliate of the Texas Rangers. So the really cool thing about us being so close to our parent club is that we have the fun access to a lot of their rehab appearances and stuff like that. So we had Josh Young here a couple weekends ago, which was awesome. So it's definitely a unique thing. It's really cool for us to have that kind of close relationship with our big league club. It's kind of honestly be read for from them. So for us, the big thing is that we host 69 home games each season, so a lot of baseball. But we really try to open up the ballpark to be kind of more than just a baseball stadium. We've hosted boxing, so we set a big boxing ring on home plate. This year, as you guys know, I know I've heard some kind of conversations already today. We are hosting the Banana Ball World Tour on September 5th and 6th of this year. So with that, it's kind of a new style of baseball. We'll have party animals, which is one of the kind of the Bananas teams. And then they just introduced the Texas Tailgaters. So they'll be at the ballpark. So we do events for companies. Mary Kay has one of their employee appreciations at the ballpark. So really that's kind of the fun part for us is that we get to do the baseball, but we also get to bring people in for kind of the fun stuff and not the things you would really kind of think about being at a baseball stadium. And then kind of with us and going back to our affiliation with the Rangers, we get to see a lot of the top prospects come through. Zach Ken just debuted yesterday with the Cleveland Guardians. So I think he was the 217th player that we've had play for the Roughriders and then play the big league. So we've seen Evan Carter, Josh Young, several other kind of prospects. Right now we have the Rangers' #1 prospect with us and Sebastian Walcott. So he's 19 years old. Look, he's a really, really good player. It's a really fun thing to get to have him at a ballpark to get to see him play, and hopefully, get to see him make a difference in the Rangers. Another key part of kind of our brand is what we get to do in the community. There you'll see a photo of some of our players from a couple of years ago volunteering at Mini Food Pantry. So helping kind of get those box meals out to those who are experiencing hunger in our community. We do stuff with the Frisco Miracle League. We've done Habitat for Humanity. So really a key part for us is just getting out in the community and being a staple there however we can, whether it's with our players or just our front office staff in the off season. The coolest part of our ballpark by far is our lazy river. So right over at the right field wall, we have the lazy river. So it started as a pool, we got new ownership, and then they wanted to make the pool bigger. It morphed into an entire river that overlooks right field. So single game tickets are available for that on Sundays. It's open to all ages, all throughout the summer. And then on Thursdays, starting on May 22nd, it'll be 21 and up out there. Drinks till 8 p.m. Music going nonstop, and it's kind of just a really fun party out there. For the other days of the week, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, companies can rent out the lazy river. That's part of what Jake gets to do every day. From just individual groups of 20 people up to 200 people, kind of have that space. And honestly, it's a really cool way to catch a game, especially when it gets super hot here in Texas in the summer. A fun part of my job that I get to do is putting together all of our promotions. So right as season ends, we're kind of regrouping as a team, seeing what we might want to do, for next year and all of our theme nights. And then from there, I get to fill out our full promotional calendar. So this year, some of our top fittings, we have Bluey here. I don't know if you guys have kids, but Bluey here for 2 nights. We've got Paw Patrol, Ninja Turtles. We're doing a night with the Texas Rangers, Dallas Stars, Dallas Mavs. We just did one with the Dallas Wings, which was awesome, kind of coming off of all the hype surrounding them and their draft picks. So that's a really fun thing with those. We'll do kind of a co-branded jersey. So for those nights, our players on the field for Dallas Stars night, for example, will kind of replicate what their victory green sweaters look like. our player for those, and then going back to the community side of that, we'll auction those off for the Dallas Stars Foundation and our foundation. So really excited for what we have this summer. I think that's the big part of minor league baseball. The baseball is really good at the AA level, but not everybody's interested in baseball, or maybe not everybody knows the players that we have. And so we get to kind of add on the really fun experiences, whether it's a celebrity appearance or a giveaway or stuff like that. So we've got a Kumar Rocker bobblehead coming up in June, and then some other kind of really fun stuff. So yeah, and then so there could be questions. I know we kind of covered a lot, but I could just have some stuff for anybody who might have a question that we can answer. Yes.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So the numbers on the top of the fence in the outside, could you explain what those?
Like on the outfield wall,
Yeah.
this is. So if you like on the outfield wall, like where you have like 398 or whatever, that's the distance of the wall from home plate. So it's kind of how far the wall has to.
Are you referring to the Braintree Ballpark?
Yes,
Track field?
yes, so right your ballpark, what is the significance of?
Talking about globe line field.
Yeah.
So yeah, those numbers, that's the distance that it has to go over for a home run. Yeah, from home plate to the wall. So typically it's anywhere between 380 feet to about 420 feet.
And I think what he's referring to, if you don't know, if you haven't been to the Ranger Ballpark, that some of those numbers are 310 and 326. Those are actually numbered based upon the people in the Texas Ranger Hall of Fame. So the 310, the 10 is for Michael Young, and the 307 to 7 is for Pudge Rodriguez. So if you're curious about why those distances are what they are, it's based upon the Hall of Fame.
That was not a trick question, but I got educated on it today by Robert Austin. I didn't know, but
Yeah, I think they designed their ballpark that way. I think those, yes.
Like, what age do you start prospecting students or players?
He's got the son.
Yeah. Great experience fast.
Yeah, so all of our players, all of the player personnel side of things is all done by the Texas Rangers. So the Rangers will scout them, they'll draft them, whether it's right out of high school or out of college. And then from there, the Rangers are really divvying out what the players are where. We don't have a say in that, so it's really great that we have Sebastian Walcott right now, but that has nothing to do with us. When we get Josh Young here on rehab, the Rangers are just telling us, hey, we're sending him your way. And then we get to just market that and have fun with it. So that's really why we do rely so much on the promotions. It's just because we can't control the baseball side. We don't really know. We could have a lot of top prospects, or we could have none. So that's all by the Rangers. We just get to do the fun part of it and just market players.
You might have to all your.
no.
Where is your field?
Yeah, how big is your field?
So the capacity of our field for the seating bowl is between 7,000 and 8,000. But with kind of all of the hospitality areas, suites, all of that, we're between 11 and 12,000, just kind of depending on stadium room too. So our largest crowd we ever had,
Yeah, they have everybody.
Go ahead.
so yeah, so our largest crowd we ever had was for Dude Perfect Night, and that was 12,087 people. So yes.
Didn't they have a big balance too for the fire department play again this year? Didn't they play Chicago last year?
Yes. So I think that's always going back to the events. That's one that we usually do. So I think that should be back this year.
It's a fun event.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yes.
Is your field and facility up for all year round?
Yes.
When you're not in play, thank you. When you're not in play, it's open to rent?
Yes. So we have a whole events
Party, Jeff.
team.
I know, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Let's see, contact.
Yeah, so we can get you either Jake or we can get you somebody's contact as well. So whether it's a movie night, companies have rented it out just to kind of hang on the outfield and watch a movie on the big board. Yeah.
We posted, whether people want to have like a staff softball game at the ballpark, or at the lazy river, anything like that, we can pretty much, we've had Indian bazaars out at the ballpark, concerts, everything you can name out there.
Awesome, thank you.
I'm assuming you have season tickets. What do the season tickets cost?
Yeah, so for season tickets, we
Use the microphone.
We'll try. If it works. Yeah.
perfect, for. What happened again? But for season tickets, we have two options. One is called our Riders. And that's basically discounted tickets. Those can range anywhere between $18 to $12 a ticket. And then we go up to our Founders, which is all you can eat food, alcohol, and access to our air conditioned Founders Club. And that's anywhere between $67 to $54 a ticket, depending on where you want to sit.
Thank you.
Yes.
So like there's a charity event going on. And
Yeah.
Volunteers, would y'all come in your uniform and stuff and serve or?
Yeah, as far as the players being there, it really just kind of depends on their availability.
So,
But yeah, it's definitely something we would love to kind of get out there and get out in the community for.
awesome, thank you.
System should be good. Got fresh memories.
Perfect. Anybody else? Yes.
So you were talking about the lazy river and I like the sound of that, but is that just on Sundays or other? You said something about it being on Sunday.
Yeah, so as far as individual tickets, it's open to all ages on Sundays, so you can just buy a lazy river ticket. On Thursdays, it'll be 21 and up, but it's still individual people. But then if you have a company or a big group that want to come out, then kind of the other days of the week are open for that. Yeah, yes.
So you mentioned your foundation. What does your foundation do?
So there's kind of several different things. So most of that is providing scholarships. We do physical academies throughout the summer. And so providing scholarships to kids who might not be able to afford to go to, a week-long camp for baseball. We do scholarships through In Touch, with CoServe, we partner with them on school supply drives, and stuff like that. And so it's kind of just donating to different nonprofits that maybe are hosting an auction or whatever. We'll kind of use those proceeds as well to give back to them. So it's just a whole bunch of North Texas, just different things like that. But a lot of school supply drives for kids.
It's separate from the regular foundation or
Correct. Okay. Yes.
one more. You mentioned that the Rangers decide where the players go. So they aren't coming to the Roughriders. Where else would they send players?
Yes, so how the minor league system works is that you'll get drafted and then you go to single A, so that's in Hickory. And then high A will be Spartan Burgers, which is a new team. And then we're double A, then from there they'll go to Round Rock. And then it's to the Rangers. So there have been times where players have gone right from us to the Rangers. It's kind of few and far between. But there's kind of a whole road up to the big leagues. And so each club would have that same kind of process.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
This is a big, important to all our guests, this challenge coin. It's the service above self on one side, and on the other side is the four-way test of things we think, say, and do as Rotarians. And the first is it the truth? Kind of short supply these days. So, well, we're delighted to have this great program. And Robert, also, would you come up and introduce your guest? And
Mr. Lindsay,
Rick.
Past President Rick Lindsay, would you join me at the platform today? Give it up for Mr. Lindsay. Please. Well, we do have several special people today. We have a full house, David, so the word got out that we were going to honor and recognize you, and many of your friends have joined us, but my part is just to introduce David's table. So along with David Harris, we have his sons, Todd and Drew Harris. So we're glad both you guys waved at us. Drew, you just drove in from Austin, is that right? How's the weather coming up?
Right.
Oh, good, good. In addition to David, we have Ellen Stevenson. Ellen's enjoys those Ranger tickets when she and David go to the game together. So she's already said, let's double up for the next few months. And then also John Bobart, who is David's partner in his CPA practice, and then a longtime friend and secretary, Stephanie Jones. So Stephanie, we're glad you're going to join us today. And as most of you got notice from Barb, we all recognizing David today. And this kind of came about just, as you know, our club has been recognizing many of our members that have been significant contributors to the club through the decades. In my own self, I was first president in 2001, 2002. And the first thing that I did was ask every single past president to be on my board. So avenue service chairs and secretary and treasurer, every one of them was the past president. And I was fortunate that David said yes. And I kind of did an unofficial survey, David. I think you've been treasurer for every past president, at least since my term, maybe before my term. You were president of the club in 1997, if I get that date right. So we do appreciate your significant service to our club. You want me to hand this to you or to you? Okay.
Okay, because Rick, David, would you come up here for, please? So we can recognize you. Now, Rick. There's a mistake. I'm sorry.
I sent it to you, you proved it.
I know. We were both wrong. Bobby Haas says that David has got 40 years of service to the Rotary Club.
President, you want me to get us a chair? We'll sit down because I'm gonna take a while. There you go. Well, David and I go back a long ways, 40 years. You know, do you know where I'm going? Yeah. So back in the day, late 90s or early 90s, the Rotary Club had a race. And so we would conduct it down at Williams Square. Rotary members of our club would work real hard. And so one year, like early 90s, we had 7,000 runners. So the runners could either donate an unwrapped toy worth $30 to $35, or sign up early, or sign with a check, or bring cash on the day of the race. This is the largest one we've ever had. We had 2 Army 2.5-ton trucks full of toys. We had people everywhere. We conducted that race. Patty Lander was there at 5:30. Buddy Brown was there at 5:30. I know Randy. We were there early. We got this race. We processed everybody. We got the runners through the finish line. We handed out the awards. You won't tell the rest of the story, or maybe. Okay, here we go. So Claire and I finally made it home that afternoon. We're tabulating numbers. We tabulate the gifts. We tabulate the prepaid checks. And we came up $30,000 short. We go back and we calculate again. Blair puts the responsibility. He said, you need to call the treasurer of the Rotary Club, which happened to be Mr. Harris. I know it, not So I called Mr. Harris and I said, you know, Dave, we've calculated we're $30,000 short. And Dave said, well, I gave you all the money. And so I said, we don't have it. I said, would you mind looking one more time? I said, look under the front seat, the back seat, the trunk. So we hung up. Now this is before cell phones, I think it wasn't, unless we had flip phones. Anyway, we hung up. About 30 minutes later, I get this call that says, I found it. He said, it was in the trunk. It was underneath the van, underneath the spare tire cover. It was in the spare wheel. This bag that you presented to me that day had the 30,000 missing dollars. Now, is that a true story? Your number's a little higher than mine. I thought it was like 20. Still a lot of money. Absolutely, absolutely. So we had fun with that. And over the years, Dave and I picked on each other and about that. Well, you know, everything goes full circle. You want to tell the next part or shall I? Okay, here we go. So about 3 years ago, one of the other flag Rotary clubs ran out of flags, so they called me. I asked Bob. Bob said, yeah, we'll sell some flags. So we sold them 300 flags, $5 each. How much is that? 300 flags, $5 each, $1,500. I take the flags over to Bill. We put them in his truck. He hands me the check. Everything good. I come back. About 2 weeks later, Dave and I are talking. He said, where's the money for the check for those flags? I said, well, I gave it to you. I gave you all the check. He said, no, I never got the check. I said, well, let me check my wallet. The check was not in my wallet. I said, Dave, I don't have it. I said, I wonder what happened. You won't pick up from here? Keep going. Okay. So about 30 minutes later, I get a call from Mr. Harris. And he says, Mr. Lindsay, you cashed the check. Deposited in your bank account at Bank of America. And I'm thinking, oh, the Lord. What was the date on that? He gave me the date. That was about 2 weeks prior. And I had about 5 or 6 different checks from different sources. University Hills HOA. So I had this group of checks in my wallet. I just signed up, put the APM, found me, and got this slip, said, great. So I thought it was innocent. However, Mr. Harris said, I need you to bring me a check to my office. And you need to be here in about 7 minutes. So I don't know what the consequence, what was going to be the consequence of that. And playing up there, I knew you showed up. It was great. So what goes around, I guess, comes back around. David, it has been a pleasure for me to get to know you all these years, to talk about snow skiing, to watch our kids grow up and become great adults in our society. We've gone through some tough times together over the years, but it has been a pleasure for me to get to say, I know Dave Harris. So with that, I'd like to read what was prepared and written on this very nice award. And when I set this down, the Covenant Trophy, Dennis called me and said, hey, Rick, we're gonna need a window pane for this stuff. Can you cut it? And I said, well, I'll try. Let me read to you how this Rotary Club feels. This is a Rotary Legacy Award presented to David A. Harris, CPA, licensed in the great state of Texas. That is true. And I see it hanging in your office. Okay, head out. This next part. Graduate Baylor University, accounting. Was it a BBA or a BS or what? BBA. Okay, so I guess, right. So, good. Club president, 1998 through 99. 38 years, that's since been corrected to 40. 40 years of Rotary Club membership. Back in the day, I'm guessing you had perfect attendance because I was stressed. So here we go. In sincere appreciation and recognition of your distinguished service above self. Your commitment to the success of the Rotary Club and the flag program. And for your commitment to the success and your dedication, attendance, support of the 5 avenues of service and everything that you did. Your support of the Rotary Foundation with the Paul Harris +1. Your application of the 4-way test has been outstanding. Your 25 years of service as a club treasurer, your contribution and passion for accuracy, timeliness, and completeness of the accounting functions and preparation has been exemplary. We, the Rotarians of the Irving Las Colinas Rotary Club, honor you and thank you. It's my pleasure to present to you this award. Rotary, please stand and acknowledge getting here.
Team one. Excellent.
Mr. President, that completes my roast and presentation.
Yes. I'll be back.
Sure, great job. One thing about being the treasurer of the club, with this alone, I got to watch this club work hard for this city and provide great benefits for scholarships and other things. It's been amazing. I think you all need to stand up and give yourself a hand for what you've done to gather the money to help as many people as you have. So join me. Let's all applaud each other. I didn't do it alone. Andy's back there in the back. She can listen along the way. And Stephanie Jones has been an integral part of all this as well. So let me say thank you to both of you. And thank you to all of you. It's been a lot of fun, enjoyed it. So thank you again.
And with that, remember that we're building flags this Saturday, 8:30 to 9:30. We've got about 100 that we need to build, and we've got 35 of them pre-punched already. So we'll be able to, when we get there, we'll be able to go to work. And we will meet here next Thursday, which will be May the 1st. Laura, 2 months. All right, will you stand? And someone's going to lead us in the 4-way test for the next, we think, say or do. Randy Hubbard.
Look, yes, everybody.
Yes.
Please, repeat along with the 4-way test of the things that we think, say, and or do. First.
Is it the truth?
Second.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third.
Will it build goodwill, better friendships?
And fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
We still have a little bit of time. If you're not finished with your lunch, take it and eat it and enjoy it and celebrate with David.
Sure looks like it's third. Good to see you. I'm good.
I've been, John, it's nice to meet you. Yeah, I have to come to your meeting. It's hard. And,
Okay. You're gonna stop, right?
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good to see you. Congratulations. With your baby and kids. Our play. Our play. So we wait for you.
Yeah.
Those are great programs. Although we can't get back to that. It's absolutely.
I have a new phone, so I'll put my phone number on YouTube.
And if you spring and take it. Thank you. A lot. Value.
Have we all met? Your brother. So this box, yeah, this box is bird. This is right up. You got it. I hate to do them. The award. She's got it. Oh, yes. Very good. I mean. So he's he had 6 races here. I don't know. But I'll find her name. I hear that. I had $6,000. That was probably good. I don't want to do something that. And so this. That is it. I think about 6 but it's working out today. You work today. Yeah, this person here. I'm working for about 60%.
Thursday. I think it might be. They got. But it's not. I just think it's. It'll be selling. So there's one email like this. Thanks for driving. Oh, you have to get that news. We also. Oh, you know, I love that. Whatever. Oh my God. Wow. Oh, that's great. Oh, I have to get back on. I don't have to get. I get some bookkeeping done. Like, I have to be. I always know my attitudes. I don't have. All right.